Hi guys, I'm Anushree. Welcome back to my channel. So today is the most requested video because I had put a poll on Instagram story asking which video you would prefer, and this was the one that most of the people voted for. So this is the master smartphone filmmaking video, which is really essential in today's world because since technology has gone so far, uh, the smartphone has become such an advanced tool which is used by most of the filmmakers and even bloggers because they prefer to have a handy smartphone rather than a heavy camera. So yeah, so since I've been using this for 2 years plus, and I've got quite cinematic shots, so I would like to share a few tips that I've gathered over the years. So let's start. And I just want to tell you that this video would be divided into three parts. First will be the shooting part, second will be the music, and the last would be editing in the phone itself. So yeah, so the first thing that is really essential is the composition part while capturing the shot. So most people talk about the rule of thirds, which is the essential element while recording a video. That is the grid lines that you see. So to enable them, you can simply go to the settings of your phone, and there is an option to enable the grid lines. So you on them, and you can see the vertical and horizontal lines that form small squares that are 9 squares. So the important thing that you need to keep in mind while shooting with the grid lines is that the subject should either be in the center like I am right now, or it should be in the intersection points. So when the subject is in the intersection point or in the center of the frame, it makes a shot a good looking cinematic shot. And another thing is that if you, for example, are taking a shot of the of a time lapse of the sunset, for example, and you want to focus more on the sunset, that is the background. So in that case, you should let the sky occupy the 80% of your frame, and the remaining bit should be in the 20%. The viewer focuses more on the main bit, that is the sunset, rather than the other distracting elements. That also takes care of the exposure part, so the phone knows what exactly you need to focus on, and even the viewer. And if it is the other way around, that you want to show a lake that is below the mountains or the sunset, then you should let that portion capture 80% of your frame, and the other part should be the 20%, the only bit that is above it. So that is one thing that you should keep in mind with the rule of thirds. And even while using the rule of thirds, to know that it is a perfect shot, you should see that all the things in the frame are aligned. That is, now for example, this IKEA pegboard that I have is vertical, and it is parallel to the line, and they are straight in the frame. And even these lines are parallel to the rule of thirds line, which makes it even pleasing to the eyes. So that really is a very distracting element while watching a video. So you should look for symmetry, for pattern, and for leading lines, so that you can get the best perfect shot to make it a cinematic video. So the next is the most important, that is now available in all the smartphones mostly, is the FPS, which is the frame rate per second. And in most of the videos, there is 4K mode available in the video element. So you just have to go to settings and turn on the FPS to 24 frames per second, which is used by the filmmakers in all the movies. It is 24 frames per second. Unless you want to slow mo, the frame rate should be higher. The higher the frame rate, the slower the video. So the ideal would be to shoot in 4K mode or whatever the highest resolution you have, and the frame rate should be 24 frames per second. Next is the most important that I have also seen in my videos, and I think it is not at all good when you see a video, and that is lack of stability. So I have very unstable shots that I've even posted, and now I'm like, who would even see that? So to enable stability, you should either use a tripod, which is maybe like a gorilla tripod like this, which can be attached and fit anywhere, or the main like a long Amazon Basics tripod, or the tripod I'm using now. I'll link it in the description, which is really good so that you can have a stable shot and your hands don't shake. And most of the phones also have a built-in stability, which can be turned on in the settings itself. So that is also a good practice that you should maintain. And linked to the stability, it is seen in most of the smartphones that stability works only in the normal wide shots. If you use a telephoto lens or the wide angle, the stability turns off. So it is better to shoot in wide, that is the normal mode only. Unless you want to capture a different perspective, then you use the telephoto lens or the ultra wide angle lens. But I would suggest you to use the normal wide lens only, and it's really good because that is the camera that has the best quality, and yeah, it's the built-in one, so it's better to use that. Okay, so the next is the very crucial bit, and that would make your video stand out from the others. That is the concept of foreground, middle ground, and background, that I think you would have heard it through people or seen it in movies also. And yeah, so coming to that bit, foreground is like adding a layer to the main bit. So background is, for example, the green wall is the background, and the middle ground is this pegboard which has a wall protruding, and the foreground is me, maybe. But while taking a cinematic shot, it's better to move from a foreground to the main subject, because that will create a perfect cinematic shot, which makes it a reveal shot, shifting the focus from the foreground to the main subject. So for example, in this shot, there is only the subject with no foreground, which makes the shot very boring. But in this shot, compared to the previous one, there's a little camera movement you create, and there's a foreground that leads to the main subject, which is more cinematic. So the next is something that I have also learned recently, which is the camera movements that you can do while shooting itself. So it's better to add a little movement while filming so that you can focus more on the subject. And let me just tell you and put it really straight that no one is seeing those pan and zoom shots and stuff. That's really overrated, and it's gone now, and it's done and dusted. You don't need to do that. It's not appealing now. But there are other movements that you can use to make it a cinematic video, so I'll share them with you. So the first is the push in movement, where it is a manual zoom, which also maintains the quality of the video. And then there's the push out, which is the opposite of push in. There's the truck movement, which is right to left, left to right. There's the jib movement, which where in which you move your camera up to down or down to up. There's the reveal shot, which is where you bring in the layer of the foreground. Then there's the follow shot, where the subject is walking and you follow either from the behind, or you are ahead of the subject and the subject is moving towards you in the camera. Next is the time lapse shot, which is very overrated and again done and dusted. But there are different ways where you can capture time lapse, which is not only of the sunset or the sunrise. That's really old now and no one really sees it. So there are few ideas like the capturing the mountains while the sunrise, so you can see the change of the shadows on the mountain, which makes it a good time lapse. Or you can also make a time lapse of the sky where the clouds are moving, which also makes it a good thing. And but you should remember that the subject or the main object, like for example if it's a building, then that should be static. Only the clouds, or there should be a movement in the sky, which makes a good time lapse. The camera should not shake, because then it won't be really appealing, so it's better to keep it on a tripod. So related to movements, you can use different perspectives. Like it's better for in the aspect of storytelling also, because you need to think out of the box. You should have that creative element that brings an element of surprise in the video that not everyone would think of, and it's only you that thought of such a mind-blowing shot. You can also see an example of it in this shot, where I have used the telephoto lens to capture the reflection of the sunset on the waves. So I don't think there would be anyone who would see that bit. There's always people who are taking videos of the sunset, but the reflection on the waves and the waves moving, um, it really makes a good shot, because it's appealing to your eyes, and it's like a warm happy feeling that it brings. So that is one example. Next, while shooting, you should also remember that even if you're shooting, if you're having including movements or anything, you should remember that you should shoot shots that are in continuation. So while editing, you should know that when the videos are stitched together, they make sense and they make a story that convey to the audience. So it is maybe better to write a script out, or write a story that you want to convey in the video. So it is better, and it's easier for you to plan the shots and film, rather than wasting your time taking unnecessary and excessive shots just for the sake of capturing everything. That also is a very bad practice. And which also brings me to a thing that I've heard from Visha Khandelwal again, who is a travel vlogger, who repeatedly says that done is better than perfect. So than getting that one perfect shot, if you have got a shot just and you're satisfied with it, even if it is only 5% satisfaction, you should just go ahead with it, because I think practice makes a man perfect. So the more you record, the more you upload, the more you learn through it, and you would master it eventually. Next is the in-camera transitions. So there are a lot of transitions that people do while recording itself instead of editing. In-camera transitions is something that is really makes it a good shot, because that's what filmmaking is all about. So in-camera transitions include the masking shot, where you capture the subject or the landscape, and then you pan or slide to the right or left, ending it at an object, which maybe makes it a dark black screen. And then the next shot, you start from the same object or similar color black screen, and then reveal the next landscape or location. Next is rotating your phone 360 degrees. This is something I discovered recently. So you just film while after you've captured it, you just quickly rotate your phone, keep it stable, but quickly rotate your phone 360 degrees, and start the next video also by rotating 360 degree and then revealing. And then when you stitch the videos together, it you can like maybe increase the speed to make the transition faster and smooth, and that would make a really good transition, especially for reels. So another thing that I have also used recently is match cut, that is film the same sequence in every location. And while filming such a match cut transition, you should remember that the frame should be the same in every landscape, so that when you're editing and you stitch all the videos together, they should look perfect. Like if For example, I am at the center of the middle box of the rule of thirds, then the next videos also should be placed in the same center box, so that it looks good, and it's like a seamless transition where you don't see any movement. It's like almost like magic. So the next is the music element that you add to your video, which is also a game changer. So it's very important to use appropriate music for your video according to the emotions or the story that you convey. So there are also, you may also find music that have a particular word or a particular name of the place. For example, if you have seen my recent reel or video, that I'll link it up in the description. But there's a place where I have revealed the fireflies, and I have used a music which has the word fireflies, which is about fireflies, and have revealed the fireflies at the exact time where the music plays. So it's better to do your research, find the perfect song. So for me also, while editing, I take a lot of time to find the music than the other part, because I take days to find the perfect music for my videos. And I have recently started using YouTube audio library, which is free, and there's also another software which I'll link in the description, so you can check that out. That those two are free. So they have a really good range of music according to the emotions or the genre or the mood, which is really good. So you can choose it properly. Another really important thing is to use copyright free music. While editing, it is really important that you match the music to the audios. Now it's really trending that the videos go according to the beats of the music. So the beats of the music act as a transition to a transition of the video itself.
Listen to me now.
You can put extra effort and time while syncing the music and the video, because along with the visual appeal, it's also really important to appeal to the auditory sense. So yeah, this brings to the last segment, that is the editing, which for most of my reels I use the phone app, that is InShot, and it's really good. I can do it in minutes. And for the vlogs and my YouTube videos, I use Wondershare Filmora, which is also a really advanced tool. So I have a lot of other options. So I also edit reels on that when it is an advanced or a complex reel that I want to edit. So in while editing, there are few things that you need to keep in mind. There is color correction that you do first, which is adjusting the brightness, the contrast, the saturation, the sharpness, the clarity, etc. So that you should do manually while you can see when you edit the video. That is really easy, but just remember that the video after editing also should look natural. It shouldn't be very over saturated in color, which looks very fake. And there's an important thing, which is warmth or tone in that color correction. So the warmth or the tone you can use to adjust while you want to convey a particular emotion. Like for example, in horror movies they use the darker tone or the blue tone, so that they bring out the particular emotion of fear. So if just imagine if in those horror movies they used a bright tone, an oversaturated tone, then you would be happy than be scared of it. So that's a really important thing. So you can adjust that to bring out the perfect emotion in your video. There's another advanced thing that is called color grading. People shoot with advanced video apps or on the camera. Then there are raw footages which they use to correct. Color correction and color grading is used for raw footage only. No, color grading is used for raw footage only. Yeah, I think this is all that I do in editing, shooting, and music. These are the three most important things. And if you are wondering what you need to buy for shooting a cinematic film, short film or video on your smartphone, then there's a dedicated video that I have made on the gears that you need for smartphone filmmaking, and I'll link it up in the description, and also here, so you can see it. And yeah, and there's a bonus tip that I would like to give you is that it is better that even if you're shooting yourself, it is better to use the back camera than the front camera, because the front camera quality is really bad, and with the back camera you can go as far as possible and you can get a wider shot, and the clarity and the quality of it is really much better than the front camera. So it is okay if you don't see yourself, you just need to know that you have a perfect frame that you can do with using a tripod, or keep it in a place which is stationary, so that would do the job. And yeah, I think one more thing that is really important, that if you use voiceovers or if you're talking in the video, then it is very important to use a mic, because I have uploaded a lot of videos without a mic, and those were really bad, so I had to use voiceovers. And actually voiceovers are really good for cinematic videos, because that makes it like a film, movie film kind of thing. So that's a really good practice. You can use voiceovers, but if you're talking in front of the camera, then it is better to use a wireless microphone, or a wired one also would do. So yeah, I think I have covered almost everything that I wanted to do. I hope this video helps you to master your smartphone itself, and just trust me, this smartphone can do wonders, even if you are using just a basic one. But I mean, of course, the camera quality should be good. So if I have to suggest, then I can suggest OnePlus, Samsung. Samsung has really good stability, conditions, 4K mode and stuff. If it's OnePlus, choose wisely the model. But the best is iPhone, of course. So yeah, I hope this video helped you to master your smartphone, and let me know if you were able to implement these in your filmmaking, smartphone filmmaking. And yeah, I'll see you in another video. But before you go, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you could be notified about my future videos as well. Until then, bye.